ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवाम्बोधे स्थितिर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरम् रामाख्यमीशं हरिम्। श्रीराम जय जय राम ओम श्रीराम 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 जय राम ओम जय राम ओम जय राम ओम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Every avatar of Bhagwan has a specific purpose. And whatever Bhagwan does in that avatar accomplishes something for Bhagwan. When it comes to Vanvasi Rama, avatar of Bhagwan as Vanvasi, one of the main facets of Bhagwan's avatar is ease of access. In Sanskrit, the word is called as Saulabhya. That when Bhagwan was in the palace, not everybody could come and meet. But the moment he comes to Vanvasa, first person he meets is Nishadraj, a tribal person. And very quickly, Bhagwan makes him his friend. He says, "You are my Sakha, come and sit here." Ramcharitmanas is to give us a glimpse into what is Bhagwan's nature. Every facet of Leela Bhagwan does has a deep import in what is his nature. Means for a sadhaka, Bhagwan as though is giving this assurance that I am very easily available. Only thing we need to do is seek him with a pure heart. That is why when we see the personality of Nishadraj, one who was so straightforward, he says, Deva dharani dhanu dhama tumhara, main janu niche sahita parivara. Bhagwan, everything that I have belongs to you. I am a trustee of whatever you have given me. And that is how I like to look upon myself. To that Nishadraj, Bhagwan not only made him his friend, but through Lakshmanji gave him the highest knowledge. That portion was called as Lakshmana Gita. So in AyodhyaKand, that was the first prasanga that we saw. Second, Saulabhyata, ease of access, is for Kevat. An ordinary boatsman, Bhagwan says, I am here. And you have freedom on how you want to express your devotion. Prema lapete atapate. His words were little bit sarcastic, but it was soaked in love and he had a pure heart. To that Kevat, Bhagwan gives the supreme-most joy. And Kevat himself says, whatever I wanted in life, that I have found. Until now, I was doing majuri. Bahuta kala mein keen hi majuri. Aaj deen hai bidi bani bhali buri. Today, Bhagwan has given me everything what I could have asked for. Means he has perfectly blessed me with a happy and a cheerful mind. Majuri is not anything physical, but it's a mind which does not seek anything more from Bhagwan. Now in that Saulabhyata prasanga, after Kevat, comes a Jnani Muni. and that is our Bharadwaj. It's a beautiful prasanga after 106 Doha. कुशल प्रश्न करियासन दीन है, पूजी प्रेम परिपूरन कीन है। कंद मूल फल अंकुरनी के, दिए यानी मुनि मन हुआ मी के। सिय लखन जन सहित सुहाये, अति रुचि राम मूल फल खाए। भये विगत श्रम राम सुखारे, भरद्वाज मृदु बचन उचारे। आज सुफलु तपु तीरथ त्यागु, आजु सुफलु जप जोग बिरागु। सफल सकल शुभ साधन साजु, राम तुमहि अवलोकत आजु। लाभ अवधि सुख अवधि न दूजी, तुम्हारे दरस आस सब पूजी। अब करी कृपा देहु बरई हो, निज पद सरसिज सहज सनेहु। कर्म बचन मन छाड़ी छलो, जब लगी जनुन तुम्हारे। तब लगी सुख सपने हु नहीं, किए कोटि उपचार। सुनी मुनि बचन राम सकुचाने, भाव भगति आनंद अघाने। तुम रघुबर मुनि सुजसु सुहावा, कोटि भांति कही सब ही सुनावा। सो बड़ सो सब गुण गण एहो, जेहि मुनि स तुम आदर देहो। मुनि रघुबीर परस पर नवहि, बचन गोचर सुख अनुभवहि। यह सुधि पाई प्रयाग निवासी, बटु तापस मुनि सिद्ध उदासी। भरद्वाज आश्रम सब आई, देखन दशरथ सुवन सुहाई। राम प्रणाम कीन्ह सब काहू, मुदित भये लहि लोयन लाहू। देहि असीस परम सुख पाई, फिरे सराहत सुंदरताई। राम कीन्ह विश्राम निसी, प्रात प्रयाग नहाई। चले सहित सिय लखन जन, मुदित मुनि सिरुनाई। राम स प्रेम कहिउ मुनि पाहि, नाथ कहिय हम केहि मग जाहि। मुनि मन बिहसि राम सन कहहि, सुगम सकल मग तुम कहुअहि। साथ लागी मुनि शेष बोलाए, सुनि मन मुदित पचासक आए। सब निराम पर प्रेम पारा, सकल कहि मगु दीख हमारा। मुनि बटु चारि संगत बदीन्हे, जिन्ह बहु जन्म सुकृत सब कीन्हे। करि प्रणाम ऋषि आयसु पाई, प्रमुदित हृदय चले रघुराई। ग्राम निकट जब निकसहि जाई, देखहि दरसु नारि नर धाई। होहि सनाथ जन्म फलु पाई, फिरहि दुखित मनु संग पठाई, विदा किए बटु विनय करी, फिरे पाई मन काम, उतरि नहाई जमुन जल, जो शरीर समश्याम सियावर, रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Right in the beginning of Ramcharitmanas, Goswamiji had introduced who is Bharadwaj ji. Do you remember that story? There was Kumbh Mela going on, Bharadwaj's ashram was there, and then he holds back Yajnavalkya Rishi and asks him the question that who is Bhagwan Rama? At that time, Goswamiji said, Bharadwaji is tapas samadama daya nidhana. He is a great tapasvi, very mastered, very skilled in shama and dama. Means one who has controlled his mind, and vyavahara is very, very pure. At the same time, very compassionate also. Somebody can be samadama, very good, like Durvasa Muni, but dayanidhana is not there. But the beauty of Bharadwaji, when it comes to himself, he is samadama nishtha. When it comes to others, dayanidhana. Paramaratha pata parama sujana, one who knows the path towards the highest. That is our Bharadwaji. Now, all Rishi Muni's introduction is in this way. Nothing about whether they had a beard or not, whether they had jata or not, where they lived, how big was their ashram, how many students were there. He said that is not the indicator. Main indicator is how was their mind. It had tapasya, it had shama, dama, and daya. Such Bharadwaji is now welcoming Bhagwan Rama. The moment he sees Bhagwan, he says, Kusala prasna kari asana deen hai. He asks the well-being of Bhagwan and then gives him an asan to sit. Puji prema paripurana keen hai. And with lot of shraddha, lot of devotion, he does puja of Bhagwan. But really speaking, Bhagwan is not pleased with what he offers. He says, with what bhava has he offered? This is a play of words. Bhagwan is Purna. By giving something to the Lord, Purna cannot become more Purna. He says what happened was his heart melted looking at the Shraddha, devotion of Bharadwaji. Such a great Muni, he is doing this with so much of Shraddha. The whole bottom line of sadhana is this. Sadhana of a devotee should be such that Bhagwan's heart melts with that sadhana. All of us know the story of Kanakadhara Stotram. It was not what she offered, but how did she offer? With that bhava, if Bhagwan's heart melts, whatever is impossible, that can become possible. Bhagwan Shankaracharya rains down gold upon that household. So here Bhagwan is so pleased with Bharadwaji. Kanda Mula Phala Ankura Nike. He is a Rishi Muni, so his pantry has all these things, Kanda, roots are there, fruits are there, some other things. All of that he brings and chooses the best one. Diye ani muni manahu amike. Whatever was the best fruits and other things he had, that with lot of love, he brings and offers to Bhagwan. Now, who eats in which order? Siya Lakhana Jana Sahita Suhaye. Sita ji had, Lakshman ji had, and Bhagwan had all of that, whatever was offered by Bharadwaji. Ati Ruchi Rama Mula Phala Khaye. Bhaye Bigata Shrama Rama Sukhare. When Bhagwan settled down in the ashram and everything was calm and quiet, he was comfortable. At that time, Bharadwaji spoke. Not at the beginning. Moment Bhagwan has come, he is not speaking anything at that point. This is Atithya. Atithya means how to treat a revered person. Means these are all opportunities for punya. Whatever we can get, Maharaji would say, muft ki kamai hai. Means without too many things, we are getting so much of punya. He says, take it with both hands. So Bharadwaji does that and brings a lot of delight in Bhagwan's heart. Now what does he say? After Bhagwan is comfortable, Bharadwaji's speech to Bhagwan, you see, is a very famous chaupai. Aaj suphala tapu teerath tyagu. Bhagwan, whatever tapasya I have done, whichever pilgrimage I have gone to, and whatever things I have given up in life. He's a Rishi Muni, right? So all things he has done. From his side, lot of tapasya, gone to pilgrimage, given up lot of things. Aju suphala japa joga biragu. Done lot of japa, purascharanam of several mantras. Ashtanga yoga also he must have done. And developed dispassion in his heart. Now I have done so many things, Bharadwaji says, but where did all these things culminate? Or where should all these things culminate? He says, all of that have culminated in your darshan. Means real result of all this tapasya is to get love for Bhagwan. And if that tapasya is really ripened, like in the case of Bharadwaji, he says Bhagwan gives them darshan. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, this is the phalam of swadhyaya. If somebody says they have done swadhyaya, according to Patanjali Maharshi, the siddhi which comes through swadhyaya is Bhagwad darshan. I mean, the standards are very high. Swadhyaya, they don't say memorizing some shlokas, remembering some text. Swadhyaya should have that much balam that it can make us a devotee. Saphala means that the result, along with result, means saphala. Hindi word it is. There is a word in Hindi also. It is not a Hindi word. But in Hindi we use, ye safal ho gaya. Means whatever we started, that has yielded results. Sapala sakala subha sadhana saju. Whatever different sadhanas I have done, all of that has been fulfilled today because I am seeing you in front of me. Rama tumahi avalokata aju. Bhagwan, seeing you in front of my eyes, indriya gochare. Indriya gochare means he came in front of their eyes. Kenopanishad Bhashya will open up many things here. Bhagwan says darshan means he saw. Don't have any symbolic meaning there. That maybe in his mind Bhagwan came and gave darshan. He saw Bhagwan standing right in front of him. Meaning sadhana is not fulfilled until ananda becomes drushti gochara. That is another way to look at it. Drushti gochara means that which trickles down into our sense organs. Recently we were discussing in one of our satsangs. We all know where Bhagwan Krishna was born. Where was he born? In a jail. And where was that jail? In Dwarka. And where did he go to? Gokul. Now what is the symbolic meaning of that? One Mahatma would say, Swami Akhandanandaji Maharaj, that whenever knowledge comes, it will always come in someone who is bound. One who is liberated is already liberated. What is the purpose of knowledge for that person? Avidnyate pare tattve shastra dhitistu nishphala. Vidnyate pi pare tattve Shastradhitestu nishphala. The one who has knowledge, one who is already liberated, for that person, knowledge does not serve any purpose. This is knowledge will come in that person who is bound. It's a long metaphor, I'll cut it short. But once that knowledge has come, it should trickle down to vyavahara. So Gokul, go means sense organs. So whatever is the knowledge should trickle down in vyavahara. Until that happens, the journey is not complete. If on one hand we say, I have knowledge also, another side we say, there is sorrow in vyavahara also. We say both cannot go together. If knowledge is there, it has to express in vyavahara. So Maharaj would say that is the symbolic meaning of Bhagwan being born in a jail, and one by one the door opens. It means the knots of the heart should be burnt under the flame of knowledge. Whatever knowledge we have gained, you can take it from devotional standpoint also. If somebody says, I'm a devotee of the Lord, that devotion will come in a bound person. But that devotion should have the power to open up knots. And every day there will be several knots. Bhagwan says, here is your knowledge, here is your devotion. See if you can get me to Gokul. And that is when the celebration starts, not in Dwaraka. Nanda ke ghar ananda bhayo, jai kanaiya lalaki. So that is this saphalta. He says, whatever saphalta, whatever sadhana I have done, the result of that sadhana is that I have developed love for Bhagwan. Now we have done so many things in life, and we have attained so many things in life. Has all attainment been the same? There was a gradation, right? We felt, okay, I got this, but the other thing I got was a little bit greater than what I previously got. The happiness which we get by clearing 10th grade and topping in university. There is some difference, right? 10th grade topping and then university topping. Then getting a good job, family is well settled. Like this, you can keep adding. But what is the avadhi? What is the supreme most attainment a person can get? Bharadwaj says, labha avadhi. Love for Bhagwan and single-pointed surrender in the Lord. He says that is the avadhi, that is the epitome of labha. Whatever a person can get, he says it will culminate in this. Sukha also, we have received different types of sukham. But if that ahankara can really mellow down and turn towards the Lord, Bharadwaj says that is also sukha avadhi. I mean, the supreme most sukham a person can get, that is this, where he forgets the world and turns the mind just towards Bhagwan. If that can happen, he says, Tumare darasa asa sabapuji. With your darshan, whatever discontentment was there in the heart, everything has gone away. Meaning contentment has come. I am not seeking anything more. Now all this is play of ahankara. If ahankara is mellow, then the same darshan of the Lord can bring this kind of purnata. Now compare this with the story in Kenopanishad. Devatas come, they also get darshan of Bhagwan. But what was the word Bhagwan used? Bhagwan Shankaracharya he used? Santara bhayaha. They felt afraid from inside looking at Bhagwan, looking at Yaksha. And there he said the reason was Abhimana was high. Agni Devata was proud of his power. Vayu Devata was proud of his power. But somebody like Bharadwaji, in whom Abhimana is low, Bhagwan says, I fill their life with all labha. I fill their life with all kinds of sukham. Abakari krupa dehu bara ehu, nija pada sarasija sahaja sanehu. Bharadwaji says, Bhagwan, lot of my sadhana has gone in pulling my mind from Vishaya and putting it in you. In simple things, whenever we sit down for our sadhana, he says it's a struggle to pull mind from other things. Moment you bring it back, it will run away somewhere. But he says, now because I've seen you, bless me with that kind of depth in my sadhana, that mind doesn't want to go anywhere else. Nija pada sarasija sahaja saneho means effortless. I don't have to put forth any effort in keeping my mind at your lotus feet. Bless me with that kind of devotion. Now, as jivas, we do several things to be happy. All pursuits in life are actually for happiness only. Right? Bottom line is that whatever we have picked up, whatever we have done. But the question we should ask is, has it given us lasting happiness? All other pursuits, whatever we have picked up, has it really given us that kind of ananda where there is no coming and going? If not, then Goswamiji is presenting another option by which we can be happy. So what is that option? Karama bachana mana chhadi chalo. In our action, in our speech, and in our mind, giving up deceit. Challa means deceit, giving that up. Jabu lagi janina tumhara. Januna tumhara means when somebody becomes devotee of the Lord. Taba lagi sukhu sapane hu nahi ki ye koti upachara. He says, unless this happens, means unless we give up the deceit of the heart in terms of our speech, action, and at mind level, even in dream, this person cannot be happy. Now, this is a challenge by Goswamiji. He says, you try whatever you want. There is a traditional example for this. They say a bag of sand with holes at the bottom, holding very tightly at the top, saying that no grain of sand should go out. That hole in the bottom of the bag is this challa. Person who doesn't have challa doesn't even have to worry about getting deceived by the world. If he has to worry, then Bhagwan's statement in Bhagavad Gita will get challenged. What does Bhagwan say? Paritranaya sadhuna. Paritranaya means to protect sadhus, I take avatara. And sadhu and challa cannot go together. That person cannot be a sadhu who has challa in his heart. But if somebody is worried that if there is no challa, if I don't have deceit, world will deceive me. Bhagwan says, you don't worry about that. To protect sadhu is my responsibility. Now Bhagwan's Swabhava you see, how is Bhagwan Rama? Suni muni bachana Rama sakuchane. The moment Bharadwaji started praising Bhagwan, he felt very out of place. Bhagwan doesn't like any praise. This is difference between jiva and shiva. Jiva and Bhagwan, this is the difference. Means person who is very content from within will not seek anything from outside. That is Bhagwan. The moment Bharadwaji praised him, that unless somebody becomes your devotee, even in dream they will not get sukham. So Bhagwan was feeling very much out of place, but he appreciates his bhava. Bhava bhagati ananda aghane. But he is appreciating the devotion of Bharadwaji. Now, how does Bhagwan deal with those situations where he is getting praised? He starts praising the one who is praising him. Taba raghubara muni sujasu suhava. Very quickly he starts talking about the greatness of Bharadwaji. Koti bhati kahi sab hi sunava. In different ways, he tells people how great Bharadwaji is. In Vishnu Sahasranama, there is one shloka of Bhagwan. What is Bhagwan's nature? Amadi manado manyo lokaswami trilokadhraka. Amani manado manya means Bhagwan is amani. He doesn't have any pride, doesn't like to talk about himself. But he is manadaha. He gives recognition to others and makes them established in society. Amani manadaha manya. Lokaswami trilokadhraka. Meaning only the one who is content can do this. If swayam mani he is, means if he himself is seeking recognition, he can never give recognition. If he himself is seeking praise, he can never give praise. Even if he gives, there will be something involved from his side. But Bhagwan is amani. From his side, there is nothing he is seeking. So he doesn't hesitate to praise Bharadwaji. Now other people are watching. Look at the drishya there. So bada so sabak guna gana gehu. Jehi muni se tuma adara dehu. Bhagwan says, Bharadwaji, your greatness is such, whoever you praise, that person is great. Means whoever you praise, that person is gunavan. He is not saying, I am gunavan and you are praising. He said, because you are praising, I am great. In our Labor Day camp, when we were seeing Nirmamo Nirahankara, I had shared one example of Divine Life Society, our Swamiji, Chidananji Maharaj, and Swami Akhandananji Maharaj. When I read this verse, it was exact depiction of what had happened there. Swami Chidananji Maharaj, very, very humble. Even when he sits, he will sit like this. If you have seen his picture or talks, very down to earth. And they would have sabha. They would discuss every day one Bhagavad Gita shloka, one Upanishad mantra. So that day's mantra was this, Nirmamo Nirahankara. Another great Mahatma ji, he asked, Swamiji, please explain the meaning of the word Nirmamo Nirahankara. Maharaj ji, Swami Akhandananji said, if you want to know the meaning of Nirmamo Nirahankara, look at Chidananji Maharaj. In front of everybody, he said. Now Swamiji was feeling so out of place inside, but his answer was beautiful. He told everybody who was sitting there, if you keep a bag in a room and somebody says there is a bag in the room, it is very natural that the person who has kept it will know that there is a bag in the room. He said, Maharaj is saying there is Nirmamo Nirahankara here. It is nothing but natural. He only has kept it. He only will know it. Right? If he is saying it, it must be true. In somebody else's words, you cannot dismiss it also. Somebody, a revered person, is saying something, we cannot suddenly say anything back. But at the same time, accepting that also is a problem. That is this chaupai. So bada so sabak guna gana gehu. Bhagwan says, that person is great, that person is gunavan, Bharadwaji whom you praise. Muni Raghubira paraspara namahi. Bharadwaji is praising Bhagwan Rama, Bhagwan Rama is praising Bharadwaji. In this, everybody else is rejoicing. Bachana agochara sukha anubhavahi. This is the beauty of nirabhimanata. Wherever there is abhimana, nobody can be happy. But wherever there is nirabhimanata, wherever there is devotion, wherever there is mutual understanding, it says that everybody will rejoice in that surrounding. Yaha sudhi pai prayaga nivasi. Hearing this news that Bhagwan has come to the ashram of Bharadwaji, everybody gathers there. Who are those people? Brahmacharis, Batu, always ready. Wherever anything satsang is available, they'll be there. All other tapasvis, tapasa, munijanas, siddha udasi. Udasi means those people who are generally unconcerned with the world, they also come. That is Bhagwan's power. They know that Bhagwan has come. So they also come to see Bhagwan. Bharadwaja ashrama sabha aaye, dekhana dasarata suvana suhaye. To see Dasharat Maharaj's sons who have come, all of these people gather. Rama pranama kina sabha kahu, mudita bhayelahi loyana lahu. Bhagwan does pranams to everybody. This is also his leela. Huh? When he meets Bharadwaji, he does dandavat pranam. When he sees all other Batu and Tapasvis, Bhagwan does pranam to everyone. Everybody else also gives their ashirvad to Bhagwan. Dehi asisa parama sukupai, phire sarahata sundaratai. Meaning this whole prasanga is the power of one glimpse of the Lord. Goswamiji says that mind which gets this glimpse doesn't remain the same as before. Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram, Dhyayam Shripati Rupamajasram. Means the moment Shripati Rupa is held in the mind of that sadhaka, that mind becomes of this nature. Very, very beautiful and very content from within. Rama kinha bishrama nisi prata prayaga nahai. Bhagwan rests there in Bharadwaji's ashram. Next day morning goes to Prayagraj, takes a dip. Chale sahita siya lakhana jana mudita munihi sirunai. Along with Sitaji, Lakshmanji, and who else is there with Bhagwan? Nishadraj Guha. All of them are there. Huh? All three of them. They go and meet Bharadwaji, do pranams to Bharadwaji. Now Bhagwan asks Bharadwaji one question. It's a very beautiful question. What does he say? Rama sarprema kaho muni pahi. Looking at Bharadwaji with lot of love, he asks him, Nata kahiya hama kehi maga jahi. O Bharadwaji, please tell me, which path should I take? Which path should I take? Do you see anything strange in this question? Imagine if I meet you somewhere and I ask you, Balvihar Day I meet you and I ask, please tell me, which path should I take? What will be your question? Where do you want to go? Unless you have a destination, discussion about path is meaningless. But Bhagwan is not asking or not telling where he wants to go. He is only asking Bharadwaji, which path should I take? And look at Bharadwaji's answer. Muni mana bihasi. Bharadwaji smiles in his mind. Rama sana kahi. And tells Bhagwan, Sugama sakala maga tumha kahu ahahi. All paths are equally easy for you. Sugama sakala maga tumha kaha ahahi. Now on this chaupai, a lot of Mahatmas, they speak for 1 hour. What is the question? What is the answer? We'll just try to see some points what they have shared. When it comes to worldly goal, worldly destination, there can be several destinations. A physical place, you can say, I want to go here, I want to go there. And according to that destination, you will have a path. And you can choose also which path you want to take. Every path will lead to one destination or the another. But when it comes to spiritual destination, we say there are not many goals. There is only one goal, that is Bhagwan. So Bharadwaja also understands. What Bhagwan is really asking is not any ordinary path. That's why Mana Musukahi. In his mind, he smiles. He says, Bhagwan has a cryptic question over here. But look at the irony. The one who is the goal, one who is sadhya, he is asking like a sadhaka. He is asking Bharadwaj, which path should I take? This is Bhagwan's Leela. He says this is one of Yadyada Charati Shreshtaha. Whatever thing a revered person does, that only other people emulate. Bhagwan says he is a Rishi and I trust him fully. In that person whom we trust, we can ask these questions. So they say the symbolic meaning of this path is towards the spiritual goal. For me as a sadhaka, which of the path is more suitable? Bhakti marga, karma marga, or jnana marga? They are not three parallel paths. Jnana and bhakti will prepare us, karma and bhakti will prepare us for jnana. Karma marga and bhakti marga will prepare us for jnana marga. But any destination we can start walking only from the point where we are. Destination might be great, but unless I start walking from where I am, it is of no good knowing the path. So then the question is, which path is more suited for me right now? This answer we will get from a teacher in whom we have full Shraddha. Swami Ram, no, not Swami Ram Kinkarji, Ram Kinkarji Maharaj. He would say, if you want to ask path, always ask from somebody who lives in Prayagraj. Why? Because they live in Triveni Sangam. Gangaji is flowing, which is bhakti. Yamunaji is flowing, which is karma. And Saraswati ji is flowing, which is knowledge. And because they live in the Triveni, they will not insist on one or the another. All three have their own requirements for an adhikari. Now, somebody who is having no problem in doing rituals, when their mind effortlessly goes towards different rituals, doing dharma, doing karma. Now, for that person, the starting point will be karma marga, Yamunaji. But at the same time, with this clear understanding that I should not get caught up in karma, I should do karma yoga. That is one path. Now, if somebody is having lot of Shraddha, you tell them anything, they will not ask many questions. You say, start doing this sadhana, start doing this japa. They will not say, first prove the efficacy of this technique, then only I will start. You say, no, if you have told him, they will do. So if that Shraddha is there, bhakti marga. Don't get them caught up in rituals. Don't get them caught up in all other kinds of do's and don'ts. Now, if somebody is doing all of this, living a disciplined life, at the same time has some deeper questions about life. This is for that person, again, don't get them stuck in karma and karma marga in particular. That person can start walking on jnana marga. Can you think of an example in Ramcharitmanas only, where if there is a mismatch, lot of problem happened? Uttarakhand, Kakabhushundi story. His mind was in Saguna Bhakti. His mind was in Saguna Bhakti of Bhagwan Rama. He goes and meets Lomasha Rishi. And he tells him, please teach me some devotional practices. Rishi teaches him little bit. But very quickly he comes to Mahavakya. And says, you are not this jiva, you are Brahma. Kakabhushundi says, I listened to it, but my mind was not reveling in it. Means internally, I was not accepting Vedanta. But Lomasha Rishi insisted. He said, you have a lot of pakshapata. Pakshapata means you take sides. You are taking sides towards saguna and you are not appreciating what I am talking about, nirguna. That is why I become a pakshi. One who takes paksha is a pakshi. So he becomes kaka, he becomes a crow. But then looking at his devotion, same Lomasha Rishi blesses him with devotion to Bhagwan Rama. Means he himself acknowledges that what did I do? He was not ready and I pushed him in Vedanta. That is this path, what he is asking. Nata kahiya hama kahyu maga mahi. Please tell me which path I should take. Karma has its own beauty. Bhakti has its own beauty. And jnanam is the final step. Gurudev's quote of hasten slowly. It's a very beautiful quote. We don't need to rush into anything. Whatever our teacher has told us, whatever is our sadhana right now, doing it sincerely will blossom into the next step in such a way that we really benefit from that progress. Sata lagi muni sishya bulaye. Bharadwaji now is giving a transactional twist to it. He says, Bhagwan Rama is ready to leave. He tells his disciples, please come. Anybody who can, guide Bhagwan. Suni mana mudita pachasaka aaye. Listening to this, around 50 plus disciples come with their hands raised. They say, we know the path, we know the way. We'll take Bhagwan Rama. Sabina Rama para prema apara. All of them loved Bhagwan. Sakala kahain magu dika hamara. All of them say, we know the exact way, we will take Bhagwan. Muni batu chari sanga taba deen hai. Bharadwaji picked only 4 out of those 50 plus disciples who had come. Who were these disciples? Jina bahu janama sukruta saba keen hai. They were these disciples who had done lot of punya karma in their past. Those 4 disciples Bharadwaji picked. But the symbolic meaning of 4 disciples is 4 Vedas. All of them are going to accompany Bhagwan and as though show him the path. Vedas have emerged from Bhagwan. But they are going to take Bhagwan to the next step. Kari pranamu rishi ayasupai pramudita hrudaya chale raghurai. Bowing down to Bharadwaji, Bhagwan starts on his next journey. Grama nikata jaba nikasahi jai de kahi darasu nari naradhai. Wherever Bhagwan went, all the villagers who were there, they would run and rush to see Bhagwan. And whenever they saw him, what was their feeling? Ho hi sanata janama phalupai. They say our minds were orphaned since a long time. But looking at Bhagwan, they have found some anchor. They have become sanatha. But Bhagwan would not stop anywhere. He would continuously keep going. So they also had to go away. When they went away, how did they feel? Phirahi dukhita manu sanga pathai. Their mind was in so much of sorrow that they have to again separate from Bhagwan. Now, after going some distance, Bhagwan is not keeping those 4 brahmacharis with him. He sends them back. Bida kiye batu binaya kari, phire pai manakam, utari nahaye jamuna jala, jo sarira samasyam. Bida kiye means he sends all the 4 brahmacharis back, but they go back with their mind fulfilled. Whatever desire they had in their mind, that is fulfilled. And they have reached the banks of Jamuna ji, utari nahaye jamuna jala. Bhagwan is showing so many things here. If you have to take a dip in the water of any holy river, and you have to cross that river, it is said you should not take a dip before crossing. You should take a dip after crossing. So Bhagwan takes a dip after crossing Yamuna ji, who was also dark as Bhagwan. Jalajo sarira samasyama. That water was dark as Bhagwan's color. Now, why did Bhagwan send the 4 batus back? The 4 batus, they represent the karma kanda of Vedas. Karma kanda of Veda will take us to one point. And after that, the karma kanda will hand it over to Uttarakanda. Purvamimamsa hands over to Uttaramimamsa. There is one portion in Bhagavatam called as Veda Stuti, where Vedas come and do stutis of Bhagwan. And the main stuti there is, Vedas only say, Bhagwan, we cannot praise you. Means we can praise your saguna aspect. For nirguna aspect, something else is needed. That is not revealed through speech, that is revealed through negation. So those are these 4 batus whom Bhagwan sends back. Next portion actually is very deep and very beautiful. I don't think we should start today. We'll continue in the next session. It is one tapasvi who comes, suddenly does namaskar to Bhagwan and goes away. Only that much. But there is a connection with what happens before, what happens after. Before that tapasvi comes, does pranams and goes away, Bhagwan sends back all these 4 batus. After he does pranam and goes away, Bhagwan sends back Nishadraj. He says, whatever you had to do, that is done now. Remaining journey, I will walk on my own. Now, who was that batu? What was the symbolic meaning of that person suddenly coming, doing pranams to Bhagwan and going? That part we will see in the next session. Aganita gunagana bhushana Rama, Ashrita vatsala jaya jaya Rama, Ayodhyavasi Sita Rama, Apad bandhava jaya jaya Rama, Dasharatha nandana Shri Rama, Dashamukha mardana jaya jaya Rama, Kausalya sukhavardhana Rama, Kamita phalada jaya jaya Rama, Papa vimochana Shri Rama, Pattabhirama jaya jaya Rama, Janaki vallabha Sita Rama, Jaya Raghurama jaya Sita Rama, Vanara sevita Shri Rama, Varidhi bandhana jaya jaya Rama, Hanumat pujita Sita Rama, Shri Ram jaya jaya Rama, Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama, Patita Pavana Sita Rama, Shri Ram jaya jaya Rama, Shri Ram jaya jaya Rama, Syavara Ramachandra ki jai, Satgurunath Maharaj ki jai.